So welcome back again in my Blender streaming. So it's been a while not streaming Blender, and probably I'm going to face start streaming today. Just wrapping up the recent progress. So the last time I was creating builder mods. So there's some sort of items or object for buildings. This one is a wall and wooden floor, and this is supposed to be has a name popping up in each these objects. Okay, let's carry on. Maybe I'm going to disable this first. Wait. I'm going to make it bigger. We don't have to improving the performance, so I have to open up the Venture UI. Now I change the basic of these items. To grab this, I can select whatever I want. Do the shortcut keys. One, grab this item first, because whenever there's a requirement for a campfire, so it's not going to show on the cursors. Unless for this one, it's still not setting the requirement for these objects yet. So random spawner. Right over there. Going to grab this one. The requirement actually supposed to be so on the list on each objects on the buildings. So it's popping up P right now. It's not only only available for this small amount of wooden stick, which is 3. See the inventory, I have 9, and then this is supposed to be 10 on the campfire. So if I grab it one more, it will be 10, and then it will be, it has to be refreshed. I have to refresh this one to be instantly added into the cursor. So it's requirement 10 wooden stick and 8 stone. So let's go to the wall. That's too much time to load. And let's see. I'm going to add it here. I'm going to craft it some campfire here. There here. And sadly there's no, well, this one works. That's how it's going to work as well. This actually doesn't have a requirement. Oh yeah, it doesn't work for this one. But so the red translucent texture whenever I just go into this world. Don't know why. But this one works. I'm going to figure out this. Okay, let's create campfire. Now I have no longer able to show the ghost objects. As you can see on the top of the left, the wooden stick only 0 and small rock is 1. It's going to be the same as infantry. Small rocks right here. And I can activate this. Doesn't require anything yet. It's supposed to be like a fire maker or something like that. And I'm going to create a wooden rack. This wooden rack could be changed to anything. Could be changed into a small tent and weapon racks and food store, especially for drying some food. Okay, let's activate this to instantly change into small tent. And there it is. I see some wooden over there. And some rocks. I have 1 each, that means I increase 1. And I didn't disable that yet. So it has a timer on the campfire itself. It's about 60 seconds. So if I added more, I can directly activate this, but will be decrease the amount of wooden stick as the requirement of the material will be much longer, about 20 seconds of the fire to be lit. And it is. This is the small thing, and not create a small bedroom. I mean bed, small bed, because I need a material like a leaf, something like that. And I cannot be able to change it into red texture. I don't know if this one works, but doesn't have a material requirements for that. This doesn't work. It's supposed to be red, but if I just a little bit not has a collision in the buildings, we'll be able to put some objects in it. It's supposed to be red and green, so the green will be able to place some objects in there. And that's pretty much it for last progress. And what next? I think I'm going to improve the crafting system. Is kind of too sophisticated and too complicated to work with, and this is still has no requirement yet, so we'll be placing at any time, unless for these two objects. This two object has a requirement depend on the material. Okay, I think I'm going to improve this. Oh yeah, the texture for maybe the next time I'm not going to write the enemy yet, the concept of a survival element. So I'm going to create food first, because I like if everything is working properly in the survival element. It's kind of fun to play with. This is the elk, this is the free 3D models from websites, some 3D websites I just download, and that's why I'm just using these skin on it to create a letter for a medium cam or small cams like this. So this kind of letter I'll just create it in the extract in there. Just duplicate anything. Then I have to create some leaf for a bed for small beds. So I just create this small, not the voice, I think it's just small plants. Still figure out the physics on it. So it will be gather some dry leaves to create the beds, or maybe feeding the campfire. Maybe the next step for campfire to be added on the list of requirement material. I just created this from Blender. I think Blender is so much powerful, and just add a curve sapling tree from this. I have plenty, so much fun with this. Just a few days ago, just creating some template in it, and then add some leaf. Still small on the leaf. Let's go back to geometry. There's a tall pine, fairly tall pines, trees. Geometry, I'm going to go into the leaf, new scale. Also leaf, I forgot. There's too much in it. Oops, sorry. I hope there's no kind of errors on my Blender streaming. Rectangular, or easy, or low polygons on the leaf. Increase the amount of the leaf. It's too big, I guess. I'm going to small it and put some texture. It's quite fun. And then wooden wall. Recreate that. Already saw that once. House, which is downloaded free models from the 3D website. It's belong to the Russians. Design, and I just changed the house itself. It has interiors in it. It will be not has a loading screen, so it's real-time interior. And what next? I think I'm going to improve. I'm not going to stream it very long today because my network is accidentally choosing the cheap networks. It's supposed to be as a good amount of bandwidth to live stream much longer. I hope I'm not going to make this one yet because I have no riggings on the models. Campfire, already done that. This is testing. There's so much glitch in my game actually. Especially for the animation, still has a glitch. Okay, I'm going to improve the random spawn mode first. It's very easy to work with. So it's basically just dropping some random items, some random objects in the front of the players, and it's located very high. It doesn't necessarily do that because I already have. Oh yeah, the snapping objects. Snapping object for wooden walls and floor. So there's no snapping elements in it. So it's supposed to be snapped automatically right off here. It's because of collisions. I have to prevent that collision into the same type of buildings. And there's no snapping object, but already done it. My own snap, even it's not so significantly great, but it does work. So previously I used maybe snap face, this one. Okay, I'm going to test it out once more. So this is placing objects, cursors. So it has objects that follow the cursors. But if I close to it, it will snap onto the surface. It looks like snapping to the surface. Actually not. It's just snapping to these objects. So these objects that are targeted to be snapping to the surface has some object that's it's dependent on the object's size itself, the dimension of the object, whether it's cube or square or rounded. I think it's not going to be snapped. Snap objects works on the cube or rectangle. So it has to be the same size of it, the target, and these object that's supposed to be snapped into the face is no. Yes, I cannot find any type of script that actually snap into the face itself. So the deficiency is not issues. I think it's the uncomfortable fact is this object has to be this small object in here, and it will be the certain objects, and that is not proportionally or not properly set on the mechanic itself for snapping objects. It has to be this particular objects, which is the cone, which is like here, cone. Just change the name. It actually has a cube shape on it. So we're searching the object that's cone, and it's probably I'm going to make this as a cursor to make it works properly. So I'm going to what's the render on this one? It looks like snapping into the objects, as you can see. And the other methods, which is very good, is the tutorial itself. It's called Object Snap, which is playing chess like this. It's very sophisticated script on it. Doesn't require any targeting or moving objects. But it's using the logic which is called array, and I think I have to call this field. I still learn more about this one. To learn more about this, because the array start is mouse position, which is my mouse cursors, and the end was the collision into the field itself. The object has field, so it will be follow the field. And Ray, I think Ray is some search engines or search methods for the scripts with certain properties, which is some field. It's so much to learn about this. I'm still confused about how it works, but just a little bit understanding from it, like restart the array end. So it will search the array end into the collision of the array itself to be set as the field target position. So if the mouse is further away from the field, this object has the properties of field. So if the mouse cursor is a little bit further away, it will be follow the cursor, the object will be follow the cursors. But if my mouse cursor is, it will be snapped into the source of the array end. That's what I'm understanding about it, but still I want to work it out. which is still not working for my own style of scripting. But for now, I'm just using this very simple logics. Disable this to be not in the render, so it looks like snap into the face. Actually not, just snap into this small object here. That's going to use building mechanics. Okay, what next? I think okay, going back to the main scene, I'm going to improve the random spawner. So random spawner, I just found the idea. Oh wait, it's been a while just creating this one. So I just random objects, whatever random just generated. So it's too small. Random value. I will add woods. I think I'm going to add another item spawner, which is using the crafting, but it's not going to be rendered or hidden from render. That's the only way I can do. It's the easiest way, and I think it's going to work really well. So this spawner will be add graffiti in it, only dynamic. Maybe I have to duplicate this first. So the spawner, which is not rendered or not visible in render, will be added right here, maybe around the player. It doesn't have to be far away, maybe a close one, maybe a little bit far away, just for ethics for gameplay itself, because suddenly popping up in the close range is kind of weird. So a little bit far away, it's not going to be seen as a weird thing, it's just happening. Or maybe just a little bit higher, because maybe I'm just going up into the very high slope ground, like to prevent escape, or maybe sinking down to the ground of the mountain itself or cliff. So we will render the spawner, has the gravity in it, and has maybe faster speed and the velocity itself. You instantly drop, but not rendering yet. It's kinda invisible. But then when it touch, maybe it has some sort of a delay or a timer whenever it's just popping up. And if the timer just set or maybe over the amount of time itself, you will be adding the items and then delete itself to save the performance, save the memory, increase the performance. Yes, that's as progress will be. The next time I'm going to stop streaming right now, just very soon streaming today. Next time I'm going to maybe I don't know, but tomorrow, maybe next week. Maybe next week at most, at least for tomorrow. I'm going to improve these the building system and maybe add some new items like food, so I can gather food objects. That's mean I have to create survival elements in it, a timer for the player, like survival elements like hunger, thirst, and sleep as well. They will be correlated on each location that I just want to create. And that's pretty much it, so see you for the next streaming.